Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Dial C for Comics Presents. I'm sorry about the delay for yesterday's video, but I promise today I'm going to make it up to you by releasing two videos back to back. And I don't want to waste any more of your time. I got two stacks here of comics that we're going to get through. And let's start it off right now with All-Star Comics number 59. Now, if you heard me talk about the World War II superheroes or Infinity Inc. or the All-Star Squadron, this is the sequel to All-Star Comics, which ended with, I think, issue 57 or 58. And it got rebooted again, starting with the same numbering. And this is number 59. And this series introduced Power Girl. And here's 62. And like I said, this was older JSA members. Like here we have the Golden Age Superman with Wildcat and Power Girl and Hawkman. And here is issue 61. And I'm trying to collect all these. Of course, the original All-Star comics are impossible or not extremely difficult to find in decent condition. So I figure I'll try to go with these, try to get all these All-Star comics. It was a short run, but I'm hoping to get all of them. And then it leads into Infinity Inc. and All-Star Squadron. Of course, What If? Uncanny X-Men. This is a one of. And here is DC Comics Presents number 44 with Superman and my favorite superheroes, the Dial H for Hero crew. Another What If. What if Iron Man had been a traitor? What if Magneto had taken over the USA? Issue number 47. And here's issue 35. What if Elektra had lived? Interesting. This one also has, I'm sorry, at the bottom there, it has, what if Yellow Jacket had died? Another DC Comics Presents, number 16, with Superman and Black Lightning. DC Comics Presents Superman and the Atom. I picked up quite a few of these at an antique mall. And for a pretty decent price. And they weren't unreasonable. And here's DC Comics Presents Superman and Black Canary. And Superman and the Forgotten Villains, issue number 78. And here is DC Comics Presents Superman and Phantom Stranger. And DC Comics Presents Superman and Superboy. And here's another character that's very hot right now. I'm sure you've heard me talk about him before, but this is Spider-Man Unlimited Maximum Carnage Conclusion. This was wrapped up all the Maximum Carnage storyline right here in Spider-Man Unlimited number 2. And here is Spider-Gwen. I believe this is the first appearance of Gwenom, issue 29. Very cool. I like Gwenom, I think next to Spider-Gwen is probably one of my favorite Spider-Man characters in the past couple years. Here's Detective Comics 572 with an appearance by Sherlock Holmes. And here's one that I think is an interesting series. This is the Secret Society of Supervillains. And this was another kind of limited run, a test series of team up of supervillains. But I also picked up this one too because it has the Secret Society versus the Justice Society. So that's right up my alley. Another What If? What if the Avengers lost Operation Galactic Storm? And here's one of you saw in our earlier episodes. Another one of those all black covers from the Midnight Massacre. This is Darkhold, pages from the Book of Sin. And Adventure Comics, of course, with Dial H for Hero. This is issue 486 with a George Perez cover. Here's another Adventure Comics with Dial H for Hero feature on the front. This is issue 482. Now, the thing about Dial H for Hero is most, if not all, the heroes were sent in by fans. So you could actually send in a character or a hero or a villain, and they would actually may publish it in the series and have one of the characters turn into that hero, and it would actually have a little blurb that say, Candy King created by, Jane Smith of Akron, Ohio. So I think that's another reason I really like the series, because it was almost a lot more fan-driven, I felt. And here is Convergence, Harley Quinn. And here is another Convergence, Harley Quinn, but with the variant cover. And here is another DC Comics Presents with the Forgotten Heroes. So we had the Forgotten Villains, and now we got the Forgotten Heroes. This is one that DC tried, and it was bringing back some of these Silver Age looking titles. They were called, were they retro, not the retrospective, but they were all new tales from a specific era. So this one came out in July 2000. So this was a Silver Age one. And of course, it's Dial H for Hero. I had to get that. And it's Robbie versus the Martian Manhunter. And this is one I can't wait to get into once I collect all my Armor Wars. What if Iron Man had lost the Armor Wars? What if the Submariner had saved Atlantis from its destiny? What if Wolverine was Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. with a Rob Liefeld cover? And what if Wolverine battled Conan the Barbarian, issue number 16? And here's a Guardians of the Galaxy. Best stories ever. I do like the Guardians, especially after the they got together in the Annihilation Wave. I thought that was a very cool team. And that's the team that they actually showed in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And here is X Factor, of course, tying to the Phalanx Covenant. This is Life Signs, Part 1. And this is X Factor 106, which, of course, the Phalanx Covenant always led to my favorite team, which is Generation X. Here we go, another all-black cover, Midnight Massacre. This is Night Stalkers, number 10. And here is Green Lantern, issue 200. And actually, the issue after this one is the first appearance of Kilowog. But, of course, the anniversary issue 200 has my name screaming all over it. And you see talk about Clive Barker's contribution to the comic books. Here is Clive Barker's The Harrowers, Raiders of the Abyss. And this says it's ripped from the pages of Hellraiser. Kind of interesting. And it has a glow-in-the-dark cover on it, too. And, of course, you've seen me talk about the Spider-Verse before, but here's Protectors of the Spider-Verse, the Web Warriors, number 4. And I think this is the first appearance of a female Otto Octavius. And speaking of Justice Society, this is one that's not Justice Society, of course, but it's part of their annual team-ups. And this is Justice League of America number 220. And this was you find out the true origin of the Black Canary and how she was originally an Earth 2 hero who transported over to Earth 1 and her parents. And this is one, like I said, one of the team-ups between the Justice Society of Earth 2 and the Justice League of America from Earth 1. And here we go, another All-Star Comics presents. Here's Justice Society right on the front. I told you, I love that team. I think they're one of the best. If you ever get a chance to read either Jeff Johns' JSA team, or you get to read, like I said, the All-Star Squadron, fantastic stuff. Make sure you check them out. Really good if you like that World War II or Legacy type heroes. Now here's one that I've been wanting to pick up in floppies, and that's Batman Year One. And for you, those of you who don't know, Frank Miller, obviously before this series, did Dark Knight Returns, which many fans consider one of the best Batman stories of all time. And it is a very fantastic story. But this Batman Year One is very gritty and grounded in reality. It doesn't really have a lot of the commonalities of the later Batmans with Joker and Riddler and Two-Face. It's very Batman War on Crime. And actually, this is a very huge inspiration for the Batman Begins movies. If you like Batman Begins, find Batman Year One. Another fantastic Batman series. And here's one I just had to pick up because it was lenticular cover. This is Marvel Legacy #1. I just thought it was kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't really change too much, just a little bit of the color. Well, that was an interesting one. And this one, if you haven't figured out already, I picked up because it has the Justice Society on it. And this is when they started to appear after their All-Star Comics kind of folded. They became a backup feature in Adventure Comics. And this is where I actually got into the death of Batman of Earth 2. So there's some stories in there, but of course, if it's got Justice Society, I got to pick it up. What If Fantastic Four, Deadly Inheritance, and this is What If number 89. And I'm sure anybody who watches knows, here we go. Titans number 27. And if you can't tell, let me get you a little closer. It's that chrome cover on there from, as I'm calling it now, Chrome Month. And here's another What If Infinity. This is X-Men number 1. And the Green Lantern Corps, number 204, which is actually still the Green Lantern title proper, but they added more characters, so this became the Green Lantern Corps. And here is Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. And this has a story in it written by Alan Moore. Of course, also got Steve Eaglehart, Kevin O'Neill. So, you know, it's nothing to turn down. But yeah, but there's a pretty important story in here by Alan Moore. And here's another DC Comics Presents, of course. And this is Superman and Man-Bat. DC Comics Presents Superman and Joker. And see, that was the thing I liked about the DC Comics Presents, is they kind of, Batman did this a lot too with his Brave and the Bold series, but it seemed like Batman would kind of cross time barriers, because he would team up with Sergeant Rock, or he may team up with Wildcat. So he was kind of on an Earth of his own. Superman, he always seemed to, except for very few instances, all of his stories seemed like they could have taken place on Earth 1. But I still like the Brave and the Bold. Brave and the Bold was definitely the Batman title. DC Comics was definitely the Superman title. And then, of course, you had the other World's Finest, which were Batman and Superman. And I may try and end up collecting the Brave and the Bold, but I think they go back quite a bit further, so they may be harder. I know DC Comics Presents is at least feasible for me to collect all of them. And here's another DC Comics Presents, Superman and Wonder Woman. And here's one I haven't really talked about. I'm sure I've talked about the Amalgam Universe before, and this is Infinity Warps. This is number 2. And I picked this one up kind of by accident, but I liked the idea of them combining Marvel heroes together. And I think this one was Punisher and Spider-Man put together. And, you know, I've talked about that Amalgam Universe before with the DC and Marvel characters. This kind of the same thing, but it was all the in-house Marvel characters. And I want to try to find some more. I think the characters that they created were really cool. And here is What If the Fantastic Five had fought Doctor Doom and Annihilus. And this is Timequake storyline 1 of 5. And, you know, I can't have a What If without my favorite team, Marvels. That is the Exiles. I'm about 90% sure of a complete run of their first volume. I have all their first volume trades. I got quite a few of their second and later volumes, singles, but I love Exiles. They're a fantastic team. They're right up there with Terrifics as far as one of my favorite teams. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, pick up an issue. They're fun, a lot of fun. And of course, here is What If Jessica Jones had joined the Avengers. And finally for this video is DC Comics Presents Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. Now, I thank you for watching, and like I said, I promise you there's going to be a part 2 coming this very, very soon. And as always, please, if you would be so kind as to like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. You know, let me know, like I said, what you like, what you don't like. I mean, I'm always looking to improve, so please let me know what I can do to make these better. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.